Spreading bullshit, whatever the cause. But the translation's been lost.
Hey.
That wasn't so bad at all, man. That was not bad. Look, I'm not gonna lie. I did play the chord and go spread just before we began, just to be like, I just want to make sure I come in key here. And I think we were all the better for it. I think that was our best. Okay. I think that might have been our best. No, I'd say that's probably I'd say it's definitely our best.
Definitely
attempts,
the best.
To be honest, yeah.
Welcome to a much more sober episode of Translation Lost.
Yeah. Look, every episode for me is a sober episode of Translation Lost.
That's true, because Dara is a loser. He's a lame wad.
But a more tightly structured episode of Translation Lost, I suppose.
Yeah.
So, what we do on structured episodes of Translation Lost, such as this, is we watch foreign language movies with no subtitles, and then we discuss them.
And only lately we've started to get that.
Yeah.
For a while we were like, what's the story? And obviously you're not going to figure out the fucking story.
Yeah, exactly. And I feel like it was even more difficult for people listening because we were trying to interpret the story, and then people were trying to interpret our vague interpretation of the story, and it's just twice removed from the original thing, and so there's just there's nothing to that. It's so hard. It would be hard to follow, I would imagine. But I think we're doing better.
Now we're starting to look at it more as what are movies like when you take out the dialogue and just rely on visuals and audio. And that's it's quite interesting, I think.
I think it's a lot more interesting.
Yeah.
I am, by the way, for everyone at home, I've got 2 Monster Energy drinks in front of me.
Dara has 2 Monster Energy drinks. We didn't say our names.
Yeah, shit. I'm Dara.
I'm Brian.
Yeah. Boom. Intro done. We've done the
We did the actual intro at the start this time. Fucking
man,
brilliant.
we got the theme song. We got the intro. I think we're seeing gradual progress.
Did we even intro last week? I can't remember.
I think we introed being sorry in advance for this.
Okay.
Yeah, but anyway. So what's the story with? Oh no, shit. Yeah, I've got 2 Monster Energy drinks.
He's got 2 Monster Energy drinks this week.
Yeah, I went and I'm very, very tired. But as I said to you in the car, I'm not even feeling it anymore. I've gotten very, very little sleep over the past 3 to 4 days. And I'm just powering straight through it. I don't really feel it, but I was afraid of crashing during the show. Yeah. So I went and got 2 Monster Energy drinks.
Which are only going to enable crashing.
Yeah, well, but they've got 2, so I'm definitely going to make it through the episode. Yeah. But it's the zero energy one, the zero sugar one.
Oh, okay.
Zero sugar, not it's absolute energy, actually. But I remember last week when we went, because apparently now it's getting a Monster is tradition for this show.
Yeah.
But when we went to get Monster last week, I was like, oh, the zero sugar one is cheaper, but I imagine it's also much worse, and I was right. It's Monster's not great, but
yeah,
I've had good Monsters, and this is not. We're not.
Welcome to Translation Lost. We're a Monster review podcast. We're going to review all of the Monster drinks.
One at a time. I think we may have already, to be honest, or at least all of the ones that are available in the Maxall that is up the road, or Topaz.
It's one of those.
Yeah, the petrol station.
The petrol
up the road
station
from your estate. Anyway, how was your week, Brian?
My week was very chill.
Nice.
It was Easter last week.
It was. Yeah.
And
who noticed? Did you
notice? It continued to this week. I noticed that I was drinking slightly more than usual.
Yeah, but was that over the course of the
really
week?
Bad.
Was that over the course of the week, or is your microphone?
My microphone stand is just falling. I can't stop it.
Well, maybe you got it. I think you're gonna have. It's gonna be a slouchy episode for you, Brian.
No, it's gonna be an upright. I've got to sit right up to get into it.
Okay, well, that's good for your posture.
This week I went to our friend Finn's house. He got a new place, so. Mm-hmm. I was like, well, I'm going to go hang out there and see what that's all about. Yeah. Very nice.
It's very nice.
And yesterday I was recovering here on my couch with Netflix. I watched 3 movies in one day.
Well, what were the movies?
American Psycho.
Okay, I've heard that's very good.
It is. It's a very good movie. Not much to say on it other than it's a good movie. Mm-hmm. Creep 2.
Never heard of that.
Which is a sequel to one of my favorite horror movies.
Creep, I presume.
Creep,
Yeah.
which is like a found footage thing, but it's a real slow burn and it's real good.
Okay.
I got 18 minutes from the end, and then Ali showed up at my house, and she has not seen Creep 1, and I'm like, you have to watch these. So I could not finish Creep 2. I still don't know what happens at the end of that movie.
Oh, that's upsetting.
Which, it's they're good. Creep 2, everything I saw, I really enjoyed.
Yeah. At least that'll soften the blow of Ali leaving for the week. It's like, well, I kind of get to figure out what happens at the end.
I'm probably
of Creep
just gonna
2.
watch both of them again.
Yeah, just marathon them. Just like be like, oh man,
'cause they're not long
Ali,
movies.
Ali, you need to see Creep. But what am I doing? Not watching this on my own. You need to see Creep. And then she goes away to college, and you're like, I'm gonna watch both.
Yeah.
That's
and then
classy.
When Ali got here, we watched Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
For fuck's sake.
The 1980s classic.
That
movie is stupid as fuck.
Yeah.
And I loved it.
Okay. Yeah. Look, to be fair, of all the stupid films you've presented to me that you're like, oh, I watched this, and I'm like, that's ridiculous. That one sounds so ridiculous that it might be amazing.
Yeah.
Well, give me all of those words again. What were they?
Killer Clown. Clowns is spelled with a K.
Okay.
Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
From Outer Space.
It's a 1980s horror movie.
Oh
and they come
God.
down in a spaceship shaped like a carnival tent.
Okay.
And they put people in cotton candy cocoons so they can suck their blood.
Wow.
And they shoot popcorn at people, and the popcorn turns into baby clowns.
Oh my God.
I think.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's great. It's real good. There's a scene where a clown rides up to a group of bikers on a little like tricycle, and the bikers are all laughing at him like haha, and don't even seem to notice that this clown is horribly deformed and gross looking, because they're like
from outer space.
Big latex like outfits that the clowns are. They're like really cartoonish, and the guy picks up his trike and breaks it, and it's like, oh man, these bikers are really clowning on this guy. And then the clown like gets into a boxing stance and suddenly has 2 boxing gloves on and punches the biker's head off. Head off, his head lands in a bin. It's great.
Can I ask, when you say clowning on this guy, was that dialogue?
No, that was all me. That was all me, baby.
Fuck
that
you,
was all
Brian.
me.
Fuck you. God damn it. Okay. Well, you see, with that kind of thing, you see, I'm glad that it exists. I'm glad that I know someone who's seen it, but I can't imagine sitting through it myself.
I think it would be a fun movie in like a group setting.
Yeah.
I don't think I would have enjoyed it if I wasn't watching it with someone. You know, and we were both laughing at it. You know?
No, you couldn't. No, you couldn't just sit there on your own, just being like, "This is ridiculous. This is the most." I don't know.
There's a Clownzilla in it.
In that film.
Yeah, a giant clown.
There you go. That ties into
our movie this
there we
week.
go.
Yeah.
We're on.
How was your week before we get into our movie?
Yeah, it was grand. It was look, it was tiring. I filmed a short film with Sean Andrews. That was cool. So it was it's for his course. It's for
all
his,
right.
like, final, he's in second year, so it's like his project of the year, and it's a script he wrote a while ago, and we did do a little bit of something with it, but then it never ended up becoming a thing. It never eventualized. And then is that the right word there? It doesn't matter. And materialized. Yes, that's much better. But yeah, so we got it done, and it man, in the little while since I filmed something with Sean, he's really come along. Like, obviously he's in college doing it now, studying it, but he's really really on top of it. And Aaron Thompson as well is another guy. Yeah, these are just people we know from Carlo, but they're very good at what they're doing, and they're doing it in college, which is dope, because it's good to see people pursuing something and then being good at it. Yeah,
that's always really cool.
Yeah. So that was a cool thing to get to do, because I haven't acted in a while. So it was nice to do that for a bit, and everyone working on the set was lovely. There's a character in it who is he's like fully white static, like television static, and they're putting it in with like special effects. And look, I've been told that they tested it and it looks good. And look, I'll give them the benefit of the doubt, but so there was this guy in a suit called Bobby was his name. He gave me a lift home each time that we filmed, and he was just wearing a green morph suit.
Yeah.
And the thing is I was supposed to be like terrified of him,
but it was a guy in a green morph suit. Yeah, you always hear that.
And he was like, oh, it didn't occur to me to shave, so he just had stubble, like this black thick stubble poking out through the chin. It was just not. It was difficult to find it to an. But it caused me to. It challenged me as an actor.
Challenged you as
challenged
an actor.
Me
Challenging
as an artist, Brian.
Yes. Put that on the box. Dara's most challenging role yet. Brian from the Translation Lost podcast.
Yeah, do you think
esteemed.
Man, imagine if we got quoted on something. Just imagine just one of the stupid films that we watch, or like, we need to try and sell this in some way. We've made no money, and there was one
movie that we were going to watch, but we turned off, and maybe we'll come back to it.
God, that looked like the worst thing.
I don't want to say the name because I don't want to spoil it.
I can't remember the name.
But it was like Demon something.
Oh yes.
But I don't think that's sold anywhere.
Yeah, no.
That doesn't look like a movie that sells.
It was on Netflix too.
Yeah.
So no, Netflix bought it. But
Netflix
are stupid.
Senderos.
Sindero, yeah, that's...
Nobody knows that movie exists.
Yeah.
They could put
nor
we said
should they.
The
but what did we say? We said awful things about that movie. Rightfully so. The only thing I can remember that I said about that film is, why couldn't they rape them? And so that's the quote that they would have to have.
Oh my God. That's so... Oh no.
Oh goodness.
So...
I'm trying,
I think our weeks were very uneventful.
Yeah, very uneventful, man. This is the thing about Easter. But like, I still had college, so that was, traveling. Traveling is the thing about traveling.
You're living somewhere new now. And you're moving up and down.
Yeah, I'm in Carlow now.
I'm commuting to Dublin. How is that?
It's not so bad. I'm only in 3 days a week. I work the other 4.
At least you work in Carlow though. So
yeah. So it's grand. But for the most part, I've been like catching up on essays. And,
nice.
Yeah, then traveling all the way to Dublin and handing in those essays, and then staying in the library, and then going to the gym, and then going back to the library, and then going home again. So
sounds like the time of your life.
These are the finest years, I've been told. So I'm just living them to the max.
That always bothered me when they're like the best years of your life, and I'm like, wow, everything after this has got to be so shit.
Yeah, because everyone says it. Everyone passes a certain point. There's a point where they're like, if you're a really old person and you're like, oh, best years of your life, it's kind of endearing. But if you're like a middle-aged person, you're like, oh, there's some bitterness here. I feel like you're hurt.
I'm 22 and I'm already starting to get that, like, I am tired all of the time.
Yeah.
Thing,
yeah,
where
but
you're
just I do not sleep well.
Yeah, you actually, but I don't. I sleep quite well.
Yeah.
I sleep better than I probably should.
Maybe that's the problem.
Yeah, maybe that is the problem. Yeah. Maybe I'm sleeping too much.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Can't waste your life away, Brian. You can't sleep it
I'm
away.
not wasting my life.
These are the best years of your life, Brian.
I do a podcast.
You do a podcast.
This isn't a waste of life.
Right, so we usually talk for longer than this, I feel, at the start, but I don't really have all that much to say this week.
UFC is tonight.
UFC is tonight.
About that for a sec.
WrestleMania is also tonight.
No, WrestleMania is tomorrow, isn't it?
Is that tomorrow?
I thought that was Sunday.
Well, then that's a great weekend, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm probably going to watch WrestleMania too.
I'm going to ask my friends what
AJ
the highlights
Styles and Shinsuke Nakamura are
wrestling. You mentioned that to me, and that sounds amazing.
Sick.
Yeah, that sounds incredible. I'm a very passive wrestling fan, but I loved it when between the ages of like 8 and 10, I would say. I loved wrestling, and then I still always kind of liked it, but never just stopped watching it all the time and keeping up with it.
I've been passive on it for quite a while, and then a YouTuber I watch called Super Eye Patch Wolf. If anyone's listening to this, I would highly recommend go checking him out. He's Irish and he does video essays, and he's really, really good. Did a 30-minute video on why wrestling is so good. And it really just reignited
the passion.
That passion. So and it came out like this week. And then I like looked, and it's like WrestleMania is this weekend, and I'm like, never a better time to get back into it.
Wow, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
But unless it's a disappointing WrestleMania, man, there's nothing more soul wrenching.
I only know that Shinsuke Nakamura and AJ Styles are and Asuka is going to wrestle too, who I really like.
I don't know. I haven't heard of Asuka.
She's the Japanese diva. You've probably seen pictures of her somewhere.
Perhaps.
She's great.
Yeah.
She's really, really good.
I got into watching these walk culture videos about WWE recently, and I still wasn't watching any WWE. I just got into these like fact videos about because like I said, I've always
you were showing them to me.
Yeah, and they're really funny and they're really interesting. I got
Some
really into
crazy shit has happened over the years.
Like it's a crazy like real world wrestling because obviously like the story of it is ludicrous and the idea of it kind of, but the actual like lives of those people, that's insane.
Yeah.
They're crazy. But that's what happens when you get hit in the head for a living, is you go crazy.
Yeah. There's quite a few of those.
I watched a thing about that today with OJ Simpson.
I think that's why
they think that. Yeah, and they're like, we're just waiting for him to die because we can't check
so we can
he's
get in there and have a look.
Yeah.
He got out recently.
What did he?
Yeah.
He kidnapped people. What the fuck?
Yeah, this wasn't for the murder.
He wasn't.
It was like an armed robbery thing.
It was an armed robbery, but he was also done for like kidnapping charges and stuff. So I would have thought that that would last. It was like a 33-year sentence.
Well, he's out now on good behavior, I think.
Oh my god,
or something.
Jesus, he seems insane. But speaking of whatever, look, he does, man. I think it would have been. I've lost my train of thought because Brian frantically pointed at the mic and told me
you
to
like
get
go
back
away
on
from.
Yeah, I know. I'm physically expressive, Brian. But yeah, look, O.J. Simpson reminded me.
Yeah.
McGregor.
Oh yeah.
We that's another
stuff
crazy,
to say about the
crazy
Conor McGregor
famous
things
person.
that happened.
Yeah, just because
So
he's our lad. And,
is he?
Look,
is he our lad now?
That's the question. But look, Conor McGregor is, to me, it's just.
Do you want to maybe run down what happened?
Oh yeah,
because I feel like some people who listen to this probably don't give a shit about
idea.
UFC.
Yeah. So like Conor McGregor, UFC champion of two things. Probably not anymore. Maybe.
No, he's not. They stripped
the
title.
Stripping him like tonight, I think. But so he won those belts and got real famous, and then he got a load of money, and then he had a baby, and now he's just out partying and doing coke and wearing ridiculous shit, and he hasn't fought in a very, very long time.
Basically spending all of his money very poorly.
Very, very poorly, yeah. And now he's after... Where I saw the video... But like, where was this bus? Was it? It was
in the stadium where they're going to be.
Okay.
This tonight.
Right, and he just turned up for the sole purpose. Like, I presume he's going.
Him and his crew. Him and his
crew.
Gang.
Just they mosey on up.
And Artem Lobov, who's another fighter who was fighting tonight, was involved, I think.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So is he still allowed to fight tonight? Yeah.
No way.
Yeah. So. McGregor fucks a chair through the window of the bus.
Multiple people fuck multiple things through the windows of the bus.
Yeah.
Some of the fighters got cut up.
Yeah. They're all. Yeah.
I'm gonna butcher names, but
Oh, what the fuck are you looking at me for? I don't know the names of these people.
I don't know how to say it, but one of the fighters who was fighting tonight got his face cut up by glass, and he can't fight now.
Jesus.
Ray Borg, who was also gonna fight tonight. Has glass shards in his eye, so he can't fight.
Oh my god.
That also could be really bad, and he might never be able to fight again. I don't know if it's actually like because it just said glass shards in his eye, and I don't know if it's like a serious glass shards in his eye or like.
I don't know how unserious that could be.
That's true as
well. To be honest, that's like.
But like, is it fixable? Like, can they like?
Do we have the technology?
Is this like he's going to be blind now in that eye, or is it like? I just cut his eye because the cat scratched my dad's eye once. Just like got him right in the eye, and you just go to the doctor and.
I feel like that's I don't know if the same thing, to be honest, but you never know. Hopefully those people are insanely durable. Maybe their eyes are just as tough.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's what happened.
Yeah.
He went to jail. He got arrested. Sent to jail. Bail was posted at 50 grand, and he paid his bail, and I think he has a hearing like in a couple of months.
Yeah. So so it's a bit of a a terrible, awful thing to do. But you see, look, I feel like, me personally, I've gotten my fill of pride from him, and I'm like, and if I get any more, that'll be dope.
I don't think I'll ever get any pride from him anymore.
No, man.
Nah.
Look. You see, it's so rare for me to be into anything.
Same.
And so I can't lose the only Irish. Look, don't get me wrong. It's a terrible thing to do, and look, before this point, I think I felt like he was a crazy, wacky guy, and he was really intense. But I thought he was hilarious. And now I think that he's like a lunatic, and it's not hilarious.
He's a gangster.
So I don't like him so much as a guy anymore, but I still want him to win. To begin with, I want him to fight.
I'll watch him fight because he's an incredible fighter, but
yeah,
I'll never get any pride from him on a national level anymore.
That's fair. I can understand why. But
if he goes up against Khabib, I'm probably going to be like, I kind of want Khabib to win now.
Really?
Because I feel like that's more entertaining to me, and I have no pride for Conor anymore.
No. Okay.
He's killed that for me.
No, that's interesting. I can't blame you for feeling that way at all. That makes total sense. I don't know. I just so rarely get to root for someone. I get in on a thing with people.
If he got into a fight, I think the whole thing was like Khabib slapped Artem Lobov in public.
I don't know who that is.
He was Conor McGregor's friend.
Okay.
Who was fighting this week.
Okay.
He called Khabib a pussy.
Okay.
And Khabib went up to him in the hallway of the thing and was like, I heard you called me a pussy. This is all in Russian because your man Lobov is a Russian-Irish citizen. And Khabib went up to him and said, I heard you called me a pussy. And Lobov lied and said, no, I didn't.
Oh.
Because Khabib is very scary.
Yeah,
and probably I think bigger than him. And then Khabib just goes, so you're calling me a liar, and slaps him.
Oh my god. That's fantastic.
Yeah,
that's just going up there and being like, I'm slapping you in the face. whatever way this exchange goes, you're getting fucking whacked in the face.
Yeah, so no, I don't. I want Conor to win if he goes up against anyone because, but I'll never be.
Yeah.
I'm done with him now.
I think that's a reasonable response.
He was our Muhammad Ali and he blew it.
That's reasonable. But look, I can't.
And
I can't.
He's influential for so many young Irish people.
Yeah.
And I don't think we need someone that influential acting like an asshole because of the amount of assholes I see.
Yeah. Yeah.
Acting like that in Ireland, and it's like you're not helping.
Yeah, no, that's fair, but I don't know. I'm still gonna be, like I said, I don't like him as a guy anymore. Unless he seems to be he's just on a downward spiral since he became just a ridiculously wealthy man, and that I can understand why that happens. But he needs to fucking sort his shit out, and if he sorts his shit out, then I'll kind of. It'll be easier for me to root for him, but I'm still going to because I never get to get in on that shit, man.
He'll never care. He'll never fight Khabib though.
I'd be surprised if he ever fights anyone ever.
No,
again.
He'll definitely fight again. That fight will make so much money. But even today, the Dana White on his little live stream was like, "This is the most disgusting event to ever happen in the history of the sport."
Yeah.
And today they were using pictures from the attack to advertise their new embedded episode.
Oh shit!
So it's like yesterday it was the most disgusting thing you've ever seen in the sport, but today it's perfectly fine advertisement.
Yeah. Ooh, that's a bit sketchy. But look, I think there's something inherently a little dodge about a corporation that that gets incredibly built, well-trained men and women to just beat the shit out of each other in a confined space.
And I can't wait to watch that tonight.
Yeah, man, it's gonna be savage because better them than me.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
I want to see what it's like.
It's the oldest sport in the world, man. Pugilism. You know, two guys going out there and beating the shit out of each other.
Yeah, survival. Because I want to know. I want to see what those situations would be like. That kind of high pressure intensity where you're like, oh my god, this is insane. He's just destroying.
But there's also,
I don't
like,
want it to happen to me.
We've also got like the different schools and stuff. Like maybe this guy's a jiu-jitsu guy, or that guy's like kickboxing.
Yeah,
this guy's a really good boxer, but he's not so good on the ground, and that like.
Yeah,
it's an excellent sport. That's all we're gonna say.
Yeah.
Fuck Conor McGregor.
Yeah. To be fair, fuck Conor McGregor.
Yeah, he has a son at home, and he's acting like this. That's
Jesus
that's
Christ.
real shitty.
I know. Yeah.
You know, stop sleeping with people who aren't your wife.
He kind of reminds me of like a kind of a lad in school who'd be a bit dodgy when you were growing up, and he was always a bit dodgy, and then he becomes like a drug dealer, and you. So one day when you're an adult, you just find out from he's a drug dealer. You're like, oh yeah, that kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
And then you hear of him like he's just out doing ludicrous shit because he's got like money, and he's like, you know those kind of people.
Yeah.
Conor McGregor just strikes me as one of those lads from Crumlin who came into
Crumlin. I only went there to the hospital for my heart. They sorted me out in Crumlin, but
my mom worked in Crumlin, but I used to be there. I used to go there every week for an acting class.
Oh, so, right. Okay, yeah.
I'm familiar enough with the area. Not really the people.
It's not that bad now, I don't think.
No, it's actually really nice. It's really, really nice there. Yeah, I'd have to get off at the Red Cow and like walk down into it and through the village to get to the school. But it is a really nice, tidy, clean town, you know?
Yeah.
And like the people have thick accents, but they're not. No one's
Everyone
like imposing.
in Dublin has a thick accent. Like,
exactly.
I feel like
even if you don't have like a thick, dodgy accent, you have a thick, obnoxious accent like mine.
A thick accent.
Yeah. Right, we should actually. Now we've gone on too long.
Yeah, let's talk about the movie.
So
we watched Shin Godzilla, the 2016 movie, directed by Hideki Anno. Director of Neon Genesis Evangelion, if that means anything to anyone.
Even I'd heard of it, so I'm sure people know the name.
I know Evan's probably listened to this. He's watched Neon Genesis.
Thanks, Evan.
He watched that and he was like, I don't need to watch any more anime. I'm good now. That's fine. I'm gonna go off on a high note. So shout out to Evan. That's probably a good play. You had something to say?
Oh, not really. I would just I guess this film is very important to Brian because Brian loves Godzilla. Brian really, really loves Godzilla.
That's where I think you were getting a little bit of mixed messages. I really love Godzilla, but I was just as bored as you when they weren't showing Godzilla on the screen.
Yeah, no,
which was like, I want to say maybe 85% of the movie was people talking in rooms, which I knew was coming. I've watched Godzilla few movies before. This isn't my first rodeo. But without the subtitles,
and it was way too much. It was like I swear to God, because there's like an initial fight with Godzilla, and then he goes away. I'll get back to that. Right, and he goes away, and then he comes back, and there's another fight with Godzilla, which is dope. Yeah. And then like half an hour to 45 minutes of nothing. He freezes in the middle of the city. And there, it's just people
spoilers
talking
for
about
Godzilla,
shit. Yeah,
by the way.
full on spoilers. I don't care. I'm going all out on this. And so he and then there's just so long of nothingness that even if I knew what they were saying, I'd be like, what? Why did you freeze the giant monster that was attacking the city? The only interesting thing I immediately jumped off on a tangent about this.
It's a movie about frustration. And that's why I think it was effective, because you were very frustrated throughout all of the movie. I wasn't, because I kind of knew what I was getting into, but I think the movie worked on you.
Yeah, it did. It did its job. Man, I was so chill when we were talking, and we've been talking about this about 2 minutes, and look how riled up I am already.
So I'm jumping over to the emails for a second, really quick.
Good idea.
Just because Barry mentioned something in an email, which I'll get back to. God damn it, I have the wrong email open. Barry said something. He sent us an email. Just really quick, I wanted to get your little thing. This is at the very end of the email, so
okay.
Come back.
That is a long email.
Yeah, we'll come back to this email. Hyped for the Shin Godzilla discussion. Love that movie. Hands down the best film about Japanese political procedure I've ever seen. Which I think Dara felt that a lot.
Oh my no, yeah. It was
mostly Japanese political procedure.
Yeah.
And that's the point of the movie.
Yeah, I understand that that's the point of the movie, but this was this was the first Godzilla film I have ever seen, and look, in full. I watched like some of the Matthew Broderick one. I watched Until Godzilla Arrives.
Which one was better, this one or the Matthew Broderick one?
Definitely this one.
Okay, good.
Yeah, but it just wasn't a good first impression.
That's fair.
Of this franchise.
I would say it's
everlasting
not a good first
franchise.
impression.
Yeah, no, it definitely wasn't at all. Because the action sequence, like when he was destroying shit, it was dope. And sometimes it wasn't dope. Sometimes it just looked bad. But when it got dope, it got dope. But then there was just nothing for so long.
Yeah.
For so long.
People talking in rooms.
Yeah, and actually, one of the things I wanted to discuss in this film, because we do that, we organize it into things, points.
Yeah, you start.
Yeah, is characters, right?
Okay.
The reason that all of that talking was so annoying is because there was like I would say upwards of like 10 to 15, like way too many main-ish characters. Main-ish political people who were like involved, like way involved.
Yeah,
it was like we were following the entire panel of people that were like handling this, and we were just spending a tiny bit of time with each of them. And there was one guy and one girl that they paid a little bit more attention to, but you couldn't get to know any of the characters during the incredibly long spells of nothingness because they're not spending enough time with anyone, and there's no information about their lives. All we know about these people is that they work for the government in some capacity that entails dealing with a giant lizard monster emerging from the ocean.
Maybe that's intentional though, because things have to pass through so many people before they actually get anything done.
Okay. As a metaphor, it's very, very clever. Well done. It's very clever. I get it. Yeah, well done. I really understand now. I really see.
Oh, the
whole
seething
picture.
hatred in your
voice.
But
I didn't have to sit through that. You didn't have to do it to me. They could have. Nah. I feel like they could have. I don't know. Man. I don't know. That's the thing. I couldn't make this fucking film. I couldn't make this work, this premise, this idea. But I don't know. And obviously, I didn't understand what was going on. But it was so dull.
So the movie is very clearly meant to be like a statement on Japanese political procedure, specifically around the time of the Fukushima disaster. And I think he does a really good job of, as I said, you were very frustrated, of kind of sharing his frustrations with what was going on and how it was handled.
Yeah.
And just in general, how things are handled.
Yeah. And
it worked. Dara hated it.
I did. I did hate it. And I feel like there's a way to convey that message without just making someone sit through something that frustrates them.
Well, you
just make it interesting.
If you were getting the dialogue, though, maybe there might have been something there. Maybe there would have been like a little bit of drama or something.
Yeah,
but
like,
you are listening to a language that is completely incomprehensible to you. So,
but it's not just that. Yeah, look, it's not just that the language was incomprehensible. The characters were so nothing that they each had a thing, so that you'd know which one they were. One of them was like the typical Japanese old man. And then another one was like a bald older Japanese man, but he had a towel around his neck. So you're like, and
that's
this like whole panel thing, their whole story, the whole film takes place over the course of several days, maybe weeks. I don't know, like a long time.
A couple of days, maybe 3 days.
He's always got the towel around his neck because it's just like, yeah, he's the towel guy, and it's the same towel. And then each character just has this thing that they're like, this is this one, so that you can remember who they are and just see them and be like, oh yes, I'm keeping up with this. But that's how basic it is. It's all just fundamentals, and it's probably like an hour and a half of just fundamentals, nothing built on top of it, nothing added to it, I suppose. It
is 120 minutes exactly, so it's 2 hours.
It's 2 hours, and I would say Godzilla's in it for
15 minutes.
15 minutes, I'd say, 15 to 20 minutes.
Yeah,
and so it's about
not all in one chunk, just throughout the movie.
Yeah,
he's like this is one of the fastest times I've ever seen Godzilla show up in a Godzilla movie. Like he's there pretty much immediately,
and his immediate appearance
is great.
Is awful.
It's great.
It's terrible. He looks ridiculous. And look, I like the idea, admittedly, that because he
looks
evolves.
like a tadpole. He's like a little baby fish Godzilla.
But that being said, a little baby fish Godzilla is still fucking massive.
He's
so he's
super
like,
cute.
He's like crawling down the river, and he's all the boats are being pushed and everything's getting destroyed on his belly because he can't walk yet. And I do like the idea that he evolves into this monster, but when he evolves, into the monster, he looks a lot more convincing. When he was the little tadpole, the CGI was no good.
Yeah, I feel like that was entirely CGI, the tadpole.
Yeah. And because to be fair, at that point he was moving in a different kind of way that would have been harder to make. You wouldn't be able to use models that way and stuff.
And also, he shows up for so little of the movie, it probably wouldn't be.
Yeah.
It would be easier to just make a CGI model and do that.
Yeah, exactly. But it just looked awful. And then, like I said, he evolves as the film progresses, and he evolves into a much better looking Godzilla. He becomes like a rock. He looks like a volcano that is a monster.
There's supposed to be keloid scars.
Ooh, which
is the scarring you get after a nuclear bomb goes off.
That's just very cool. I like that. Okay. Yeah, so he did look really good then. Because I don't know, there's something about the kind of rock texture or something.
Carbon.
It was easier to, I don't know.
And the light shining out underneath it.
Yeah, it was really cool.
That was one of my points that I wanted to bring up, was Godzilla himself and how he looks in this movie, because there was a lot of stuff that came out when this movie came out.
About how he's a thick.
All the Godzilla fans, he's a thick boy. Damn boy, he thick boy.
Yeah.
Because I used to use Reddit when I was an idiot and thought that Reddit was a good site. So I used to go on the Godzilla subreddit, especially when this movie was coming out, because I was like, oh, I'm really hype about this. I want to talk to people. I want to see what people are saying. And everyone's like, this Godzilla looks stupid. I don't like its googly eye. It looks dumb. It's a bad design. And anyone who thinks that this Godzilla is a bad design can fight me, because they're wrong. It's probably one of the best Godzilla designs.
Look, the Godzilla, the little beady eyes worked when he got bigger. When he was a little tadpole,
they look silly when he's a tadpole.
Yeah,
he's cute when he's a tadpole. But when he becomes Godzilla and he's got the every so often you'll see the eye peeking out. And
it's almost like a dinosaur, like by the end.
But much scarier.
Yeah.
And the uneven teeth.
Yeah, the teeth looked real bad.
And the big dick tail.
The tail was way too big. The tail was way too long. The tail was like taller than he was. And at every point in the film, he never grew into his tail. And as soon as he arrived, it was that size. And the rest of him was tiny. It looked so dumb because it was so poorly animated as well. No,
you're full of shit.
The tail never got any better. The rest of Godzilla did.
You're full of shit.
No,
you're full of shit.
The way the movement was grand, but the actual texture of the thing was awful. And there were shots
there was one shot towards the end with his tail where I was like, that looked bad.
Yeah,
I'll give you that.
Look, this touches on another point I'll get to later, which is realism. But there's a scene where his tail waves over a bunch of buildings, and there's people standing on the ground looking up at it. And in that shot, it looked really good. But then when it's just a wide shot of Godzilla and his tail's just wagging and he's pretty much standing still, but the tail's going crazy, it looks so stupid. It doesn't work because the movement of it isn't realistic. They didn't get it down when it's showing the whole thing.
Okay.
You willing to give me that?
All right. I'll give you that.
Yeah, I can't get. But like I said, the rest of them, what the fuck? The rest of them look good, but I just couldn't. Not the stupid overlong wavy tail. It looked dumb.
But then it started shooting lasers.
Then it did start shooting lasers.
Then you were like, oh, that's the purpose.
Yeah, and that was unreal. Like, because, like I mentioned briefly earlier, when he gets back, you should actually talk about this because it's your point. But Godzilla comes back with a whole rake of powers.
Yeah, Godzilla uses his atomic breath.
Yeah.
Which is what that's called. And it has been a thing since the very first Godzilla movie.
I was aware of the breath.
They didn't do it in the Matthew Broderick movie because that movie's not a Godzilla movie. But anyway.
What is it they call him in Japan? I know this from a different podcast. Godzilla in a name. Gino.
Godzilla in name only. Yeah.
Is it? I can't believe I have
to say that out loud.
He shows up
in Godzilla Final Wars.
Yeah. Don't know what that is.
It was the last Godzilla movie that came out, I think, before Shin Godzilla, it was like early 2000s.
Just remind me, how many of these
like
films
30 something.
Jesus Christ.
But anyway, it basically in Final Wars, Godzilla is fighting everyone who's ever been in Godzilla. So like Rodan is there and Gamera or fucking Gigan.
I've never heard of
They're
any
all
of these
here.
creatures.
Everyone he's fighting. But Gino shows up.
Oh, yeah.
And you see everyone in Godzilla in Japan, like they're dudes in suits. That's how Godzilla is filmed. It's guys in suits. But Gino shows up and it's really bad CGI. And he gets like killed immediately by Godzilla. And it's like, that's a great fuck you to that terrible movie.
I think Japan seemed to be good at like subtle shit like that.
Yeah.
Passive aggressive kind of. Yeah.
But anyway, back to his atomic breath.
Yes.
He shows up with his atomic breath, and when he does it in this, first he gets bombed, and it like his back blows up.
Yeah.
And all his blood spills out.
And he's crying out, and you're like, oh,
you're
no.
like, oh no.
Oh, poor Godzilla.
Poor boy.
Yeah.
And then he starts to glow, like bright blue, and then he starts to
down
shoot
his spine.
Yeah.
And
he starts to shoot fire out of his mouth, but he's like pointing down, and the fire is just exploding out from him like a big bomb.
Yeah.
And then the fire like focuses together, and his jaw splits, like his bottom jaw splits open, and the fire focuses together into this big blue laser, and he's just cutting buildings in half with it and shit, and it's amazing.
Yeah. And then he, like,
they're about to drop bombs on him.
Yes, they're about to drop bombs on him, and he like goes absolutely nuts with the laser. He's going full ham, and the bat from his like glowing spine. I just bashed the guitar. It explodes out into just multiple like loads of rays of the atomic breath,
all coming out of each like spine.
Yeah, and just like destroys the bombs that are about to fall on him, like chops all the like choppers in half and everything that's like hovering around him. And like the buildings, everything's getting sliced in half. That was amazing.
And then he has a sleep.
Then he's real
tired.
He has
a sleep,
so
and we go back to some rooms with some Japanese people talking.
And they just leave him there.
Well, I think that's a part of what they're talking about in it, is what are we going to do with him? Who gets him?
Yeah, no, they were talking about that, but they also realized at a certain point that he was still alive. Because they were analyzing him, and there was very, very short bits in it, very brief moments that were in English, and there was a Japanese lady who was supposed to be American, and she was supposed to like be an American woman who could speak Japanese. And
I think it might have been the other way around.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I may have got.
Okay, thank God, because that couldn't have been passed off. But what was I saying?
She tried.
Yeah, she
but
did.
She was very obviously just reading lines.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Without a doubt. Yeah. There was a different guy who I think did it better. But
main guy.
Yeah.
One of the main guys.
Yeah. One of the. Like I said, just loads of main guys. He isn't even who I would consider to be the main.
The Japanese man in the suit.
That's good.
Yeah. Him.
Yeah, that one. Yeah. That's all you need. That's all you need to know. Wow, Brian's mic is just fully slouching. It's given up.
Okay, hang on.
Oh, he's making some tweaks. Oh.
It's this. I need to tighten the nut on it.
The actual. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you want to pause?
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Okay, you're just gonna leave.
I'll hold it.
Okay.
Like
cool.
like a cool Radio Man. I don't think they hold their microphones.
Joe Rogan occasionally reaches for his and pulls it close.
I want to get a couple of those because you can get those super cheap. And
yeah,
I feel
right?
like I could just stick them to the table here. And
yeah, I think that would be savage.
Yeah.
I feel like, because then because I'm very fidgety and I find it really difficult.
And
to
maybe when I
sit.
buy those, you'll finally buy the pop filters.
Look, I've been real busy, but I will go on the pop filter thing.
I have not even attempted to remind you in
yeah,
so long.
Yeah, it's been a very, very long time. But the socks seem to be working.
The socks,
fine.
the socks
Still
work.
going with the socks. What were we talking about?
Japanese men in suits.
Japanese men in suits.
Japanese lady speaking English.
Yeah, how that wasn't very good. I don't know. I think I was on the way to a point, but I can't remember it.
Oh my God.
We sidetracked slightly, and I was like, oh, what was I talking about?
This is the worst podcast I've ever listened to. This is the worst podcast I've ever listened to, and I'm going to dislike this video.
Please don't. We really need. Apparently,
we really need that like.
Is that not? You said that was the algorithm thing, right? That's a big thing.
I don't think it is as much, but yeah.
Jesus,
for a while
I have no idea how.
Oh, dude, it changes like daily.
Yeah.
I've stopped. I just upload the videos, and I'm like, all right, bye.
Yeah, see
Peace.
what happens. I just hope people listen to it.
I do need to start updating the social medias more.
Yeah,
but that's really tough to remember to do.
it is. Yeah, and like
What am I
what do we have to say?
What am I gonna say?
A lot of the time we don't see each other in between
Hey
doing
guys,
this.
hey guys, still here.
Oh, that's something I wanted to bring up actually. I'll only bring it up briefly, but you didn't go to the View Music gig, and we talked about it last week, and
Did
you were
talk
real
about
excited.
it last week, and I was really excited.
Yeah,
But something came up.
Yeah,
and I couldn't do
something came up to be prepared, but I just had to call you out.
That's fair. Yeah.
Right. So what was my next point? Right. I had realism.
Realism.
Right?
Yes.
Or really, it should be lack of realism, right? Because this, the way that these people reacted to a gigantic lizard monster coming at them from the ocean was insanity. It was absolute insanity. And I don't know how things go in Tokyo. I don't know the way things go in Tokyo.
Yeah.
But I that's a lyric I wrote when I was like 15. It's stupid. But I imagine.
No one got that joke.
Yeah, I know.
Us.
I know. Yeah. But I don't know, man. There was like a Godzilla comes in the first time, right? And he's the little tadpole thing, and he wrecks shop, right? And then he stands up for a short period of time and fucks some shit up, knocks over a couple buildings, right? And then he just belly flops, right? And there's a shot of him belly flopping, and he belly flops out of shot, right? And then it cuts to more Japanese political bullshit, right? Because even the action sequences with Godzilla are intercut with it, right? So then
The next morning.
Oh yeah, no, I'm getting to that. Don't
okay,
worry.
Okay.
Right? So then he belly flops out of shot, and it cuts away to them, and then they don't cut back to Godzilla. And 10 minutes later, they show a map
For a second.
For a
not
split
even
second.
shown on screen. The guy is holding it.
Yeah, and it's it's a map of Tokyo, and it just shows you the way that he went back into the ocean because he just left. And I was sitting there for so long being like, is that it? Where'd he go? What's going on? What is he still loose in the city? Because they kept cutting to shots of people doing things, and I was like, where'd the monster go? What are you guys gonna how are you feeling about this? And then it cuts, then it goes to night, right? Night falls, and then the morning comes, and there's all these shots of the fucking the trains running, and traffic moving quickly, everyone getting to work. There's a woman jogging. There's a woman jogging in the park, and a lizard monster rose from the ocean, and first it slid, it crawled into the city, and then it stood up, and it knocked down a shit ton of skyscrapers, and then it belly flopped away, destroying everything in its path. Presumably, how should I know? They didn't show it.
No, we see the trail.
Yeah, he destroys some, but everyone's just going about their shit. It doesn't make any sense, and even the people, the people who are working on this shit, all of the many main characters who are these political Japanese people, they're addressing the issue. They're clearly working on it, but they do not seem panicked. There's no panic.
Yeah.
No one is flipping their shit. When I wanted to bring up earlier is that when they have that shot of the tail going over the buildings, the people on the ground are just looking up at it like, oh my god, look at that. No one runs. No one runs away. It's like several feet from just just knocking these buildings over on top of them, and everyone's just looking up at it like, whoa, what's that?
Yeah, but that could also be intentional, Dara.
Oh my god, no, that's just, and I don't know, man.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you. People could have reacted a bit more realistically, but again, the whole thing is a commentary on how Japan treated the Fukushima disaster, which is like, why aren't you doing,
I know.
It's a whole thing.
I understand.
But I understand your frustrations with it.
Yeah. Quite a lot of frustration here, Brian.
I just want to see Godzilla.
Yes, I do just want to see God fucking Zilla. And another point on realism, right, is like when there's loads of just bizarre shots. There's just loads of weird moments where like it cuts to a new scene and it's like a shot of the phone and it rings and someone really quickly picks it up and puts it to their ear and they're like, "Wah," and they say something like hello, presumably, but they like it's like their face is like, "Wah, hello," and it's like it's super quick, and the rest of the film isn't like that, and they're not shot very well, and they're not like the acting isn't, because it's hard to sell that, and so it's just really weird, and then it goes back to being kind of like a high pressure situation. Everyone's like, was it serious? And it was like, I don't know. No one was acting like the end was nigh. And no one was even acting like what is it? I'm like, whatever about it destroying everything. How is this a thing? What's going on? And no one like,
everyone seemed to just kind of be like, well, this is our new reality. We'll just take it as it comes.
This is what we're taking on now.
We've been making movies about this for years. I mean, we should have known.
So, and then there's loads of shots of Godzilla at night, and he's like stomping around, right? And it's like a very, very wide shot with like loads of skyscrapers around him, and he's like standing in the middle of the city, just moving very, very slowly. And there's all these skyscrapers with lights on, who are just people who are home, or like in their office, or doing whatever the fuck they're doing. And without a shadow of a doubt, they can see Godzilla from their window. They can look out the window and see that monster destroying
Well, this is before
everything.
He did the laser, so they might think like, well, he's not coming over here.
But he could.
That's also true.
And he would
see. I have a question real quick. So in this movie, they show pictures of Hiroshima.
Yeah, very briefly.
And Nagasaki.
Yeah.
Do the Godzilla movies exist in this universe?
What? I don't. Surely not, right? Are they? Is that supposed to be the thing? Is that a thing?
No, but
because
that happened.
Because Godzilla is based off.
Godzilla is based off that. Do the Godzilla movies exist in this?
Good question.
Is there a throwaway line where they're just like, "Oh, it's Godzilla. We figured it out."
Well, they did just call him Godzilla.
They did call him Godzilla.
They called him Godzilla because it was his that was his code
Gojira.
name. Yeah, and it was what a weird code name to give something. But they do give things weird names. Operation MK Ultra. Why would you call it that? You know, they do. It's weird.
It's almost like the point is so that when you hear it, you won't know what it's about.
Yeah,
it's
I
not
know,
like
but
Project Drug People Secretly.
No, but that's the thing, right? Is that MK Ultra and Godzilla, no matter what they are, they both sound like it. MK Ultra sounds dodgy.
It does
and
sound dodgy,
Godzilla sounds terrifying. So they're like it's like specifically named. Obviously, I know one of them was a real thing.
It's originally Gojira, which means something different. I'm not sure what though. Don't ask me.
Man, what does Sore mean? Because they said it like maybe 15 times.
I looked it up. All I could find was sled.
Yeah,
which I don't think they were talking about slaying.
I don't think they were talking about his sick belly slide off screen. Did you see that? My glasses fell in perfectly in time. So it was. That was driving me insane as well. I can't believe I haven't. I can believe I haven't picked up any Japanese, but I should. If I keep hearing words like that, I should be like, "What is that? I need to know."
I find I only pick it up if I'm watching something with subtitles.
Well, yeah, that makes sense. All right, yeah, because how can you glean from context?
Yeah,
it's so hard, man.
And I thought like it would be easier, but
but there's no.
I want to briefly touch on the music.
Yes.
Music was, I think you can probably chime in on this too. Music was really good.
Yeah, it was.
Soundtrack there was a couple of tracks in there that were just one-to-one tracks from the Evangelion soundtrack. And
really? Like legit?
There was a couple of very similar tracks.
Yeah.
I can't remember where, but I remember hearing them, and in my head I was like, I know that. That's from Neon Genesis Evangelion. The bits with Godzilla had like the trumpets and like the
like the heavy brass.
And that's good, the first Godzilla movie. Like that's the kind of shit that was in that, and I really appreciated him kind of
incorporating
that into the modern soundtrack.
And it worked too.
Yeah.
Like the soundtrack had a lot of variety in it. Like sometimes there was like legit songs, like almost, but songs without lyrics, but like they have the kind of progression of like a pop song or like a kind of alt rock song or something.
Yeah.
And then other times Godzilla's attacking everything and it's all brass section, and then other times it's more kind of just, the typical the shot with the woman jogging and everyone getting on with their morning. It was smooth jazz. Just smooth jazz. That's what frustrated me so much about it. It was actually, but that's the thing, is that I liked the song. I liked the smooth jazz, but it frustrated me in the context of that scene, because I was like, this is not. Everyone can't just be like, this is an easy, chill morning. We're just getting on with life.
Just hanging out.
Yeah, because he's gone. Yeah. He's gone. It's fine for now.
Oh, I had a rough night. Did you have a rough night, dude? Oh.
Your room is uncomfortably warm again.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. I think that's just going to be the thing all the time now.
Podcast heating up.
Yeah, because it was actually warm here today as well. For once, it was a really lovely day. So
I don't know really what else I have to say about Godzilla.
Did I have one more point? I think I might have. I had characters, realism, and the edits.
You kind of talked about.
I talked about the edits, so that's fine. That's
that's Godzilla. Mm-hmm. What would you go back and watch this with subtitles?
No, never again. Never sitting through it ever again. Would you, considering the fact that you can't because you bought the DVD but it doesn't have English subtitles?
Yeah, it's only got German or Dutch subtitles.
You actually paid for it.
I didn't realize. I should have. It was a big boo-boo on my part. I'll probably go back and watch it again with subtitles in like a year or something. Although I don't know. I might just go watch an old Godzilla.
Yeah,
and if I want to watch this, I'm just going to watch the parts with Godzilla.
Yeah, for sure. Fuck all of that, man. Like, it would be interesting to hear what they were saying during those bits, I guess, but I'm never sitting through this.
Would you recommend this movie?
No.
No?
Nope. No, way too much bullshit.
I'd recommend it.
Yeah, of course you would, but you recommend so many things.
And I think we've come off Godzilla on a very negative front here.
Yeah.
Which means I think we're going to have to revisit it at some point.
Yeah, you've got another one, right?
I have a little movie. No, I'm not going to say. I'm not going to spoil it. But it's my favorite Godzilla movie.
Ooh.
And I know it's going to infuriate you to no end.
Awesome. I love when the movie I hate so much on this podcast is one that's near and dear to your heart.
Yeah. It's that's what breeds conversation. So yeah.
Emails?
Yeah. All right. I suppose I'm doing. Yeah, I do the song for emails.
Yeah. I can't believe this is a funny joke, and it was a funny joke when you first did it, but now I have to pass you the guitar so you can do this.
Mails.
There, you made it into. Yeah, you added to it. I liked it.
I don't even think I'm in key when I'm singing.
I feel like you fumbled, but you kind of.
I didn't even try. I didn't want it to be in key.
You kind of waved in and out a little bit.
I was trying to be out of key.
You were very close, but say you were just a little flat.
All right, so we'll see who... We have 2 emails this week, and we'll see who went first. And I may have to speed through them a little bit. Because you guys write like crazy.
Thank you for.
Thank you very much.
Amazing.
I read fast, though, so we should be fine.
Yeah.
This is from Barry, Ironic Stap.
Mm-hmm.
Hello again. I guess I'm going to run with the Disney movie discussion. This is the last time, I promise. It might be a bad sign for Disney's brand that you both described Tangled and Frozen as Pixar movies. They're from the main Disney studio. I did not know that.
I didn't know that.
I did not know that. That 3D style isn't as timeless as their traditional stuff. I would agree with that. Their 2D stuff is, it's classic. The exception is, of course, Zootopia, which is fantastic and does have really good morals and comedy. Yeah, I think it and Big Hero 6 are better as CG movies because of their huge city filled with crowds. But something like Tangled might just be better as traditional animation. I really liked Zootopia. I'm not one for Pixar movies that much, or not Pixar, but yeah, I know I made the same mistake. I'm not one for like Disney movies in general. I don't really watch them. Yeah. But I watched Zootopia like last Christmas or something when it was on TV. And that movie's really good.
Yeah, I haven't seen Zootopia. Yeah. I have seen Big Hero 6. I thought I actually quite liked the animation in that, but I did not really like the story. I feel like I liked the story when I watched it first, but over time I was like, didn't really like that. I wasn't digging that.
Zootopia is really good, and it does have really good comedy.
Yeah, I will get to that.
And morals too.
I need those.
And this he goes on. There's a little bit of self-promotion here.
Oh.
I love Zootopia's animation so much, in fact, that for over a year I've been going through it frame by frame and posting my favorites to a daily blog. I mention this not just as self-promotion, and then in brackets, although it is that. And then there's a link. Weird Zootopia Frames. That's the name of the Tumblr.
Oh, very good.
It's Weird Zootopia Frames.
Good.
I'll put a link to that in the description.
Yeah, I can't wait for you to get our 50 listeners following you. You're welcome.
Yeah, we're helping. But because this is what I do, as I listen to fine podcasts such as Translation Lost. Oh, thank you so much, Barry. I also like to do things while I listen to podcasts, but nothing so productive. I just play video games.
Yeah. I've been trying to listen to smart people and maybe have them rub off on me. It's while I'm cooking or something.
I do it while I'm working out and cooking too. That's I listen to podcasts pretty much like most of the time I'm doing something. Yeah. I find it hard to just sit and listen to something for any length of time. I can't do that unless I'm like having a drink.
What, like?
If I'm sitting down having a drink, I can actually sit and watch like a Joe Rogan.
Oh yeah, well like I don't watch them. I'm just.
But if I'm like not like just hanging out.
Yeah.
And like I'm sitting here, I have to be playing something on the PlayStation or like writing something or doing something, you know.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
I find it hard just to sit there and listen to something for any length of time, so I need something that engages my eyes and hands, but not my ears. So not say video editing. Yeah, reading also doesn't work because the words drown each other out. I can't read or write if I'm listening to music with the lyrics.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's interesting. Well,
except for Alt-J.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
That's very interesting. I can't study to music with lyrics, but I can't study to like the sound of other people studying around me. So classical music I listen to while I study.
Classical music, video game music is really good for that because it's built
actually,
to be
that sounds like a good
in
idea.
the background.
Yeah, I'll look into that. That sounds dope.
There's some really good stuff. With more and more podcasts to follow, I'm open to suggestions for how else I can spend podcast time. What do you guys do? We kind of just answered that.
Yeah.
I play video games or I do Gundams, Gunpla.
Yeah.
If you want to get into some shit, just buy a Gunpla. They're like 30 quid for a model.
It's
not
like
bad. 10 to 12 hours of just model making, and it's really fun.
Nice. In my free time, I tend to, I don't know, play music. Play music. Yeah, I play music. I write music. I talked last time about carrying that ukulele around. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Sometimes I'll strum my mandolin as well if I'm listening to something.
Yeah, it's nice. Yeah, it's nice to kind of just you can just kind of fiddle away, and I'm very fidgety, which is why it's so difficult for me to speak into a microphone for a while at a time. But so it's good for me to engage.
Yeah, no, I definitely. Gunpla is a really good one. You don't even have to watch Gundam. It's a stupid show. Nah, it's not.
It's actually
really
from a legit show.
It's from a series that's been going since 1997 or 1978.
Wow, that's insane. I just thought that they were like, it was like a style of.
No.
model
it's
or
from
something.
a show.
That's crazy.
But they're really good models. I have not. I've watched maybe the first series. There's like maybe 30 series.
Jesus,
altogether,
wow.
different ones. I could be wrong though. It could be less. And movies and things.
Because isn't The Simpsons like close to having like the most seasons of anything?
So I feel
like
right.
Yeah, but how many have they had? I don't know, like 30, over 30. I don't know.
Yeah,
loads.
Anyway, loads. Also, to weigh in on a contentious issue, speaking as someone who can taste the difference between all Cokes and Pepsis, Sprite and 7-Up are indistinguishable to me. Neither one is better. They're equally refreshing. Sprite is better.
It's not better, man. Barry, you let me down there. You're on a good roll with I can tell the difference between Pepsi and Coke, but look.
I can tell the difference between Pepsi and Coke.
7-Up is more like limey. It's more, I don't know. It's better. It's better. 7-Up's better. But I respect your opinion, Barry, but I don't respect yours.
And then he just says the Godzilla bit that I read earlier.
Oh, yes.
So I hope that Godzilla discussion was up to snuff.
Yeah.
It probably wasn't. But, all right. And then, so thank you for that, Barry.
Yes, thank you so much.
Always appreciated.
Yes.
And now we have an email from another friend of the show.
Yeah.
Oshin. So Oshin says, a great many three things. Or a great many, and then in brackets, 3 things.
Okay.
That's the title of the email.
Okay, that's
I
the
should
subject.
have said that was the subject before I just said that.
Yeah, because I was like, that's his opening line? I don't understand that.
Hey guys, Oshin here, friend of Brian, acquaintance of Dara.
You motherfucker.
I wanted to thank you both for the kind shout out in your last podcast. I am undeserving, but I'll take validation where I can get it. I think this may be an overlong email, but I'm here for it. In response to Barry's email, so now we're getting some back and forth, which
I'm loving.
Yeah,
I'm loving.
In response to Barry's email about animation last week, I really, really liked his comparison of still characters to sharks because it's so true. And that you remember you said if a character stands still like a shark, it will die. And I thought that's one of the things I remember from that episode.
Yeah.
Which says a lot. For my final animation assignment in college, we have to animate 2 characters of our choice lip-syncing to 30 seconds of audio. It's all in the character movements and reactions to each other that makes them feel alive. It is so difficult and time-consuming, and I love it. Mm-hmm. I'm animating Mushu and Phil from Hercules speaking lines from a Monty Python sketch.
Oh, wow.
I want to see that when it's done.
Yeah, for sure.
Also, in relation to Frozen, if you guys ever want to see an amazing, gorgeous concept art for a film, Frozen is where to look. We were all so robbed of a stylistically stunning and detailed film. Especially if you Google Frozen concept art coat, you should see the Snow Queen wearing a coat of live ermine that is so good it's heartbreaking. And better than the entire film. And I don't dislike Frozen at all. I'll definitely Google that.
Yeah.
I don't even really know what ermine means.
Pardon me. I have no idea.
Yeah.
But they're live.
I've heard it before, but it's live.
That's what
it's happening right now.
Yeah. We'll wear it live. Don't laugh at that. Don't laugh at that.
Sick Bill O'Reilly reference, dude. Sick.
Oh, God. I'm slouched down now. I got a little uncomfortable on the couch.
Yeah, he's down here.
Down
I don't
here,
have
your
one
level.
cushion, and I'm keeping it.
Yeah, but Brian always sits on the floor, by the way, and I sit on the couch.
Yeah.
So thanks for that, Brian.
And Brian, if you still want to talk about Queer Eye, I have things to say about it. Now, I've only watched an episode and a bit of Queer Eye. I have fallen off it, and I keep meaning to come back to it, but I just haven't really got around to it.
That's what happens when you consume all content available at your fingertips.
Yeah,
Brian.
that's true. I have been going through a lot of shit lately,
yeah.
content and watching different things.
I've been
watching Friends
Killer
again.
Clowns from
Outer Space. Friends.
I
watched the movie Annihilation, which just came to Netflix. Really good.
Oh yeah,
I
you
would
actually told me about
recommend
this.
going into that knowing nothing about it.
Yeah.
And watching it. It's a sci-fi thing. It's cool. And Brian, if you want to talk about Queer Eye, I have things to say about it. Number 1 is that Kareem O'Brien has no real discernible role in the show other than being too charismatic and too beautiful to not be on the show. His smile alone gave me the self-confidence to get my life together. Number 2, and this is something I agree with, having only watched 1.5 episodes.
Okay.
Number 2 is that Jonathan is the best of the 5.
Okay.
Jonathan is the best of the 5.
I remember that.
I adore his optimism and his hyper-femininity. I feel like gay men on screen are usually toned down to appeal to a certain demographic. You know which one. I'm glad Jonathan has been allowed to freewheel straight into our hearts. Yes. Queer Eye is a great show.
It is, yeah, okay.
Queer Eye
I've
is a
heard
very
that
good
it's a
show.
very, very good show. The only way that I know of Queer Eye, aside from you and Ushin talking about it, is a podcast I'm aware of that I've only listened to once, which is a bunch of friends drinking beer together and talking about the beer, and it's called Queer Eye with your mates guys.
Okay.
Yeah, or Beer Eye with your mates
Beer
guys.
Eye.
That's
Okay.
it.
That I got really
Yeah.
confused when I was
Right,
like,
yeah.
why would they just
that,
call
yeah,
it
that
queer?
wouldn't make
Are they gay?
They're
Like,
all
is
gay.
that-
They're all gay,
Oh,
and they
okay.
love beer.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'd actually listen to that podcast. That's last point. I really like that rare Ali feature in the last show. She really adds that level of sophistication, high art, and logical know-how I feel like Translation Lost strives for.
Well, we didn't
Also, I
agree,
love
so we
her.
gave her the boot. Ali's gone. Fuck her. Nah, I know she's in the kitchen.
Bye.
She's in the kitchen, but she's sober tonight, so she's too shy. But yeah, it was good. It was.
Yeah,
good
it was.
having her on.
Okay, Oshin out. Love you, Brian. Love you, Dara. Love the podcast always. Bye.
We love you too, Oshin. Thank
we
you
love
so
you
much.
too, Oshin.
Yeah, I would love to get, because you see, the thing is, this is like a letter segment, but really, it's like a letter segment comprising of letters from Oshin and letters from Barry. So I would like it if they kind of message back and forth. If they I don't know. I presume that.
Hey, I know some other
They
people.
met each other in person.
I know some other people who have told me in person that they listen to this.
Yeah.
Send in an email, dude. Don't
Yeah,
be shy.
come on,
Don't
for
be
fuck's
shy.
sake, man. Yeah, come on.
Don't be shy.
We like to hear from people. We like to talk.
We're only going to laugh at your email off the air. We won't do it on the show.
Yeah, it's not like public humiliation. It's just behind your back.
We do not laugh at anyone's emails behind the show,
So,
except for Ushin's. No, I'm kidding.
So something just occurred to me,
Yeah.
which is we don't know. We didn't discuss whose bullshit is it. I'll play the theme song and we can figure
No,
it out.
I think we'll take a short break and come back to the
Okay,
theme
that's
song.
good, 'cause I got pee.
Yeah, I got a pee too.
Yeah.
BRB, but right now.
Burb. Let's not play.
All right, we're back. That took a second.
Bullshit from Brian, bullshit from Brian, hair like a lion, a curly haired lion. Bullshit from Brian, bullshit from Brian. No, I'm not lying. Time for bullshit from Brian. I
Alright.
didn't sing that one the best that time, but I did remember to say from Brian.
You
So,
did.
Small victories.
Small victories. I'm moving up. Gotta move my cushion across
get-
the...
Get comfy
Uneven
for this
floorboards.
bullshitting you're about to hit us
It's,
with.
my bullshit this week's really weak. It's not even bullshit.
Yeah, no, it's real life shit.
Yeah, you guys came up to my house,
Yeah, we did on Saturday.
and I made. It was like one of the few times I've made like a proper prepared food.
Us guys being like the lads.
The
So it's
lads,
like
yeah.
myself, Keith, Austin, Evan, Finn, all came up to the house, and you cooked us
Fried chicken.
Fried
my
chicken.
own homemade recipe, fried chicken, that I am very proud of. I
It
made
was-
it that week after, that week after as well.
Yeah,
I
it was
made again.
delicious. I can see why.
I've been
Yeah.
making it a lot.
Yeah, man, I understand.
I'm
that.
surprised. Like I'm still.
Yeah, no, it was and like because as you know, it was and because it was spicy as well. It was like a little bit on the spicier side, but I loved it. I couldn't stop eating it, and I'm quite sensitive to that. So
That's
goes
why
to
when I
say-
tasted it, I was like, this might be a bit too spicy for Dara.
no,
I don't know.
no, because I had like a little thing of mayo with me just in case,
Yeah.
and I'll use the mayo, but I didn't need to use the mayo.
That's good.
Yeah,
That's
it
good.
was delicious. It was fantastic. But yeah, like hosting.
Hosting is fun. I
it
like
is cool.
hosting.
It's nice to have I've been cooking people dinner, having people over to my house and cooking
Oh,
them dinner.
That's
Yeah.
interesting because I've never been to your house for dinner.
Yeah, look, the thing is, right, people tend to just, like, come over to my house because they're about town or something, and they're like, are you doing something? And I'm like, no, are you doing? And then, no, but you're never just about town, unfortunately. And people tend to just come over around the time that I'm about to make myself dinner. So I'm like, all right, I guess I'm making us some dinner. And now, to be fair, I'm not at the level of cooking that, like, you or Finn is yet. I'm kind of dipping my toe in. I'm liking it. I'm really liking cooking. Cooking's a really fun
it's real
thing
fun.
to do.
It's real good.
Yeah, it's super fun. I've been
And chicks digging.
Yeah. Well, it's a handy life skill to have, and it's ridiculous that it took me up until now.
If you ever
want to
eat healthy, you got to learn how to cook. You got to cook for yourself. And once you start cooking for yourself, you can really get into like eating good food.
Yeah, because man, I said ages ago on this podcast that I wanted to put on weight. Yeah. Like I think it was my New Year's resolution, and I am putting on weight because I'm not just eating bullshit like fucking junk food and stuff all the time. That's what I used to do. Like I wouldn't eat breakfast. I'd like have a Mars bar, and then later in the day I have another Mars bar because they were filling enough that I could they would sit in my stomach and I wouldn't be hungry for ages. You want to put on weight
like in a healthy fashion if you're doing that.
Yeah,
put it on in a bad. Like.
Yeah, but I wasn't putting it on at all because I was just substituting Mars bars for meals.
There was no nutrition.
Yeah. So I'm finally putting on weight, and it's just because I'm a little broke. I'm really broke, but I'm a little bit.
College student.
I'm more aware of the money I'm spending.
Yeah.
So I've been like I'm cooking for myself all the time, and I've been primarily making either pasta and chicken or spaghetti bolognese or chicken curry or korma. I made a korma, but it's always like rice and chicken and like some sauce.
I make a lot of rice and chicken, spinach and.
Yeah, see, I'm
sweet potato.
I'm still trying to get in on the veg thing. They taste like dirt. They taste like the earth. And
sweet
that's
potato.
Not sweet. Yeah.
Chop it up instead of mashing it like a lot of people do. I don't really like mashed sweet potato. It's a bit too much, unless you put in a little bit of like maple syrup or something. Which really brings it out. But what I like is if you chop up a sweet potato and make sweet potato fries and bake them in the oven. And they're kind of crunchy and they've got sweetness. And not crunchy.
Finn made like they were almost like wedges, but there was just potato.
Yeah.
But it was amazing because he just like slathered him in oil.
Finn does fry. He did fry. Me and Finn cooked dinner together here one night.
Yes,
we were like, let's combine forces and make the greatest dinner the world's ever seen. And we like reverse seared a steak that we left sitting in its seasoning for like an hour, so it had like the juices had come out and it had reabsorbed them. And
lovely.
I diced the meat, not diced. I score the meat, like slice it along the outside, so it takes in the seasoning better. If you put like little cuts along the outside, like X-Power, and it'll. Yeah, but he did fried potatoes.
Yeah.
And
yeah, man,
god damn,
incredible,
so fucking good.
Yeah, just absolutely amazing. And I was saying it to him at the time. I was like, "What the best thing about this is I can make these now that I've just watched you do it, and they're delicious. And I need to put on weight. I've been putting on weight, so yeah, it was pretty good.
You know what's hilarious? Just tap the mic there a little bit, but that's fine. You know what's hilarious?
What's hilarious?
After I was out in Finn's house, we stayed up all night. We drank quite a bit because that's what you do when you're hanging out with your friends, playing Xbox 360.
Except when you're hanging out with Dara.
Except when you're hanging out with Dara, then it's just really boring. Now we watch YouTube videos and shit. It's great.
Yeah, it's dope.
But yeah, we played a bunch of Xbox and we drank, I think, 10 bottles each.
Jesus.
Of Canadian, that's average.
Yeah. Like I said, I saw you for 10 minutes. You downed a bottle.
Yeah, but that's to start everything off. You're like, we got to down a bottle as friends because I'm in your new house for the first time.
Yeah, cheers.
You got to do that. Cheers. But when I was going home the day after, I was like, I'm really hungry, and I just woke up, so I'm gonna get a KFC because that's real easy, and I can just buy that and eat it on my couch while I watch Netflix and make myself feel better.
Yeah, myself.
And it sucked.
Yeah, that I was gonna say. I was like, bit of a risky.
I ruined it for myself.
Yeah, KFC, but KFC's always been like bit dodge.
Bit dodge.
Like, because you never know, man. One time, my stepsister got KFC and she like peeled back. She like bit into it, and the chicken had like veins. Like all of the bits of chicken all had like these massive, like gross, purpley, bulging veins. It was like, this isn't.
That's dodge. Man.
Yeah, this is dodge as fuck, man.
I've started saying that now because of you. I say that in my like daily life now.
Man, this happens to me all the time. I frequently I'm kind of I reassess the things that I say because I go through a lot of different ones, and then I'm like, where did I get some of these? Because some of them I come up with, I'm like, because I'm in my head when I'm bored, I'm like, that'd be a cool thing to say. And then, or I just say it naturally one day and I'm like, I like that. And I'll start saying it. Or sometimes I tend to like, I'll hear it from someone and I'm like, I like that. And I'll start saying it, but I never keep track in my head of who I heard what from. So it's always like, where did this come from? I can't remember. Where was the origin of this?
Yeah, it's just sometimes you pick up words that like, I'm trying to think of one and I can't, but you know.
Yeah, because like for example, I say dope all the time now. And I can't, I don't know, presume I heard someone saying dope. Was it you? Might have been you.
I feel like I say dope a lot.
You do say dope a lot.
And I picked that up from like not any one of my friends. I picked it up somewhere else.
Yeah. I feel like all of our friends collectively started saying dope a lot at the same time. That tends to happen as well.
Too,
you know, that tends to happen. And you kind of, you know, you get lost in it.
I say radical a lot.
You do say radical. And that's one that I've heard and I'm like, oh, I like that. That is pretty radical.
And then I say it and I don't even think of it as like a weird thing. And people like look at me like, what the fuck, where are you from?
Yeah.
What year is this, you fucking idiot? And I'm like, dude, that's radical. And they're like, what? And I'm like, oh, that's sick, dude.
Yeah, it's weird when shit like that. I incorporate. Lately in particular, I've been incorporating a lot of Irish into my speech, and sometimes I will just start speaking Irish, and like people, man, I went up to Sean Andrews while we were filming the other day, and he had my vape, and I was like, will mahutin electronic out? And he was like, and he was like, and he went, oh, and he was like, sha. And I was like, fucking nailing it, Sean. Absolutely killing it. So, yeah, I love Irish, man, and I don't get to speak anymore. So, I've just been drizzling it into my everyday language, everyday speech.
I wish I had paid more attention in Irish class now.
Yeah, a lot of people say that to me.
I feel like the school system doesn't do it justice. Mm-mm. It's a really cool language, and it's our thing. Yeah, and we shouldn't let that die, you know?
No. Like, people, we were celebrating, like, 2 years ago, the people who fought and died to get what we have, like, and for our language, it was a big part of that, you know, big part of everything.
Then you still get people who are like, fucking Irish is dead language, man. What's even the point?
I know, and it's sad because I really do love Irish, man.
It's like I don't want everyone to speak Irish in public. That's silly. We should speak English as our main language because that's
practical,
really good, because a lot of the world speaks English too, and not a lot of the world speaks Irish. But you know,
like
just keep Irish there too. Why not?
Like, I'm nowhere near fluent in Irish. I think there might have been a point where I was like very close, but not anymore. But I can speak Irish without hesitation, and like only every now and then will I be like, fuck, what's the word for that? But like even at that, the majority of the people I come across, I'll say like what I would consider to be a pretty basic sentence to them, and I'll be like, oh no, I have no idea.
All right, hit me with a basic sentence.
Okay. Dear with Brian, chunas mar atá.
You're asking me, while you're saying, hello Brian, how was
you'd be
everything?
surprised, man, because a lot of people
now you've lost me.
You see, there you go. Yeah, see, that all I said was I'm happy to hear that. But
that's good. Yeah.
Tom Lonsauce, like, but as well, when I've got, even though again I'm not fluent anymore, I still have, because
you still get it, like it's ingrained in your like brain, because you went to a school that.
Yeah, I went to an Irish Nínra when I was like 4, and then I went to an Irish primary school in Dublin. Then I went to an Irish primary school in Carlow, and then I went to an Irish secondary school. So
that means a secondary school that enforces a rule where you have to speak Irish.
Yeah, not just like a school in Ireland.
Yeah, I also went to an Irish secondary school. Yeah. In the fact that my secondary school did in fact take place in Ireland.
Yes, yeah. Most of the people
they didn't ship me off. They didn't ship me out. You know.
Yeah, no, but yeah. So we were supposed to speak Irish all the time, but we didn't.
It's a bit of a silly rule, but
yeah. But I actually liked Irish. But and I went, like, I didn't really speak Irish all the time in school. I did in class, and I went away to the Gaeltacht once or twice, and just going for a little while, man, you like vastly improve your Irish. It's amazing. Everyone should go to the Gaeltacht.
I found that when I went on a school trip to Germany. Just to live with a family and for our part of our German class.
Yeah, you in Austin?
And you find afterwards that you're like, oh shit, I kind of. This is a little bit more natural now. If you ask me to speak German now, I'd probably suck. But
yeah, no, it's immersion, man. It's the whole,
I can still read German and be like, I kind of can maybe glean something from this. You know?
Exactly. No, I can't. When I came back from the Gaeltacht, I was like, well, I'm gonna ace this now because even in Irish schools, people's standard of Irish wouldn't be that.
Gaeltacht are a lot more hardcore about speaking Irish.
Yeah, they'll just fucking send your ass home. They're like, no, you're not getting the rest of your, not getting the rest of your money. Yeah, that's it. You're gone. Yeah, but Gaeltachts are crazy. That they're still a thing. Well, I'm glad that they are, but it's a bit nuts. Just that, like,
it's a bit extra, but like, I'm glad they exist.
Yeah,
I want to keep that language alive.
I think I think it's kind of cool that even though we're like trying, what I love about Ireland really, and what I love about living here and being from here, is I love how in the last 100 years we've made like massive developments as like a society and like in industrially in that regard, and so we're like trying to become like a country, and we're getting there, without a doubt. Well, you know, we've hit some bumps, but we're visually we are for sure, but we're still like we're still a little island that up until recently was really fucking rural and condensed and just like farmers, and like it still is primarily that. Like we see horse carriages going down the street every now and then, and there's places in our country, like just teeny little towns where everyone still speaks Irish, and a lot of them can't speak English. And it's still there. Like we're still this teeny little country.
Like it's not like we stopped speaking Irish hundreds of years ago. My granny was born in maybe the late 1910s, early 20s, and for the first I think like quarter of her life she would have just only spoke Irish, you know.
Yeah, like my granny was from Derry, and she so like they didn't speak Irish there, but when she came down here and she went to secondary school, they had to sing the national anthem at the start of each day, and so she had to learn it
in Irish.
Yeah, I don't think there is an English version of our national anthem. Is there? I don't think there is.
There probably is, but we don't use it.
Yeah, because fuck it. Why would fuck it. That's not our national anthem.
I kind of like how Ireland like flies under the radar though.
Yeah, man.
As well, like most people when they think of Ireland, are like, they're okay.
Yeah,
they're cool.
I was discussing this with Roshan a while ago. I like that the Irish people are like holding Ireland back. You know, are like places like Dublin and Cork and like these cities, they're trying to be like, no, we can grow, we can become, you know, like huge like these other countries, and the people like are just
now slow down there, come on now,
for fuck's sake, man, it's nice and quiet over here,
come on now lads.
You know, I don't have to be worrying about fuck all that yous are worrying about. I'm not worried about, like, I'm worried about World War III, but I'm not worried about like a terrorist coming in here and shooting the place up.
I live in Ballinasskilly or whatever the fuck.
That's just not our problem. Like World War II and shit. I know we had like a little thing. We were like a little bit in there with the Americans, but for the most part, it was just, I like that we're like, oh, whoa, lads, now we're just dealing with our own shit over here. We don't want any fucking trouble. We're just gonna keep our heads down, and yous can do whatever yous are gonna do. You know, I like that we've got that attitude. It makes me feel really safe.
One thing I really, really like every time I go anywhere abroad is when people are like, are you English? And then you're like, oh no, Irish. And they're like, hey.
Oh yeah, that's always a good moment. But it's bizarre to me that people, I suppose it's bizarre to me that people have such difficulty telling the difference between Irish people and English people. Because we pronounce our R's, and I feel like that's a really...
See, here's the thing. I have heard people in Montreal, Canada, who speak French, and people in Paris who speak French, and then people outside of Paris who speak French, and all of those are incredibly different ways of speaking. And to all of those people, they're like, we don't sound anything alike. But to me, an idiot, or just someone who doesn't really speak that language, I don't know shit. I don't know. They all sound the same to me.
Yeah, I get you, but like that. It's the hard R, you know, the dreaded hard R. We I don't know. I feel like
you can pick it up really easily.
Pardon?
You can pick it up really easily.
Me? Yeah, of course I can. Yeah, I know, and I know it's obviously a different thing, but I don't know. It's just nuts. But you know, like I am always partially like, no, fucking not. Even though I am definitely of English descent from somewhere down the line. I don't know how fucking far, but Eaton is not an Irish name, man. Eaton is it's not. It's definitely from England.
Yeah,
definitely from England. But you know, I'm as Irish as look. Fucking people popped in and out. So,
popped in and out at some point. Yeah. No.
Look, yeah. I don't, and I'm sorry. I'm legit Irish. I'm not like an American person. You know, it was just Look, to be fair, there were a lot of us. I mean,
my mom's side goes all the way back.
Oh yeah,
to like the Normans and all that shit.
That doesn't
before the Normans actually.
Yeah,
I think my dad's side we're Normans, so we came over from Scandinavia somewhere.
My like you see that's the thing. Like most of my family go way back from here. You know, like my mother's side and stuff. My stepdad's family go way back. I know it's not me, but and like my granny on my dad's side, she's like always kind of. Her family for a very long time have been in Ireland because she had like a crest thing in the hall, and I asked about it one day, and she gave me a whole rundown. I very vaguely remember it, but it was interesting at the time. Yeah. So, I'm primarily Irish.
You're definitely full-blooded Irish.
Yeah,
I feel like I'm definitely full-blooded Irish as well.
Yeah, if you grew up here, you pretty much
I know people who grew up here and probably aren't full-blooded Irish.
Oh yeah, no.
And we don't talk to those people.
No, obviously I know loads of people who aren't full-blooded Irish.
But they've grown up
here, so they're like Irish people.
Like we're cool with immigration. You can come hang out.
Isn't that a cool thing about the European Union? England is stupid. I like that we just grow up with
podcast is getting political.
Yeah, actually, and I don't know shit about politics, so I shouldn't get into that at all.
Same. That's one of the reasons why I was like, let's not make this political because we'll both look like fucking idiots.
Good shout. Right.
We're at 1:30.
1:30. Well, you know what? That's a good podcast length. Do you have anything else to talk about?
Yes, the economy. Let's go.
Let's see. Okay. Gonna do what I do every week on the podcast and really quickly review the last 2 weeks of work and think of anything ridiculous has happened in that time. Actually, earlier today, right? This isn't a ridiculous thing that happened today, but it's just something that happens all the time, and I want to talk about it. So many, like, sometimes junkies and sometimes just like the most obvious stoners you've ever seen in your entire life come in being like, do you have that CBD oil? And we're like, yep. And they're like, oh, how much is it? And I'm running through the prices and the strengths and stuff. And they're like, oh, yeah. What's it good for? And they're like, I tell them all that shit. Give them all the info. And they're like, yeah. You get you stoned though. And I'm like, no, man. It's not going to get you stoned. It's legal and you can buy it over the counter in a vape shop. And then they're like, oh, right, I'll think about it. And then they leave and I'm never going to see them again.
No, you're not.
But it happens all the time. And I just...
Get you stoned though. Does it get you stoned though, man?
No, it doesn't. But look, to be fair, have you tried CBD?
I have a CBD thing.
Liquid?
Yeah.
Do you? Yeah.
I get CBD a lot of the time when I started working out.
Oh yeah, shit, that's right. Yeah,
I started using it quite a bit. Yeah. It's really good.
Yeah, and you get like the 200 milligram.
I haven't got it in a while. I've kind of gone off it a bit, but I'm probably going to go back on it when I start working out.
Yeah, it is. It's good. It's really good for pain. It's really it was good.
Anxiety as well. Which,
it was great for me when I was out. Just to take the odd puff of, because it was like, ooh, everyone's a bit fucked up. Oh, hang on, now I'm relaxed and I'm chill and I'm having a good time. You're
ready to deal with it.
Yeah, it was also, it helped me sleep really well. And I should probably start using it again for that exact reason. You should. But, but it is great.
See, the problem I did was I bought strawberry flavored.
Yeah.
And my battery, I feel like, is too big for that stuff.
Yeah. I've often wondered what the VG PG content of it is because it's not written anywhere on the bottle, and that infuriates me.
That's strange.
Yeah.
Is that not like legal? I thought you had to put that on.
I don't know. You see, there's a couple of them that don't have it written on it, and they have it written on the box that they come to us in, but we don't. We throw those out. And I never see them anymore because I don't work. And sometimes I don't know, with that one I just don't think it says, which is really weird. So, but I'd say there's a chance it could be 100% VG because what's it called?
I don't know.
No
what that means,
kick.
So.
The VG is the thing that gives you the cloud, and the PG is the thing that gives you the hit in the back of the throat. So, like, I would say it's really high in VG because you don't feel it in your throat. It's not like the nicotine kick you get from the normal vape. It's just really smooth.
I told you about my boo-boo with my vape quite recently.
Which boo boo is this, man? You've made so many boo boos with your vape.
Do you know how you can change if you press the two buttons? It changes
to temperature control.
It changes from temperature to it changes
from wattage to temperature control. Yeah.
And I was like, well, I'm supposed to be 450 or 45. That's what I usually have it on. So I go up, 450 degrees, and I hit the thing, and it's just.
Oh God, no!
I'm like, oh no!
Oh Jesus! You see, yeah. That's the
I
thing.
immediately realized my mistake and fixed it. But
I always run people through that when I'm selling them to them. I every single vape that has the temperature control option, I'm like, this is how you charge it, this is how you turn it on, this is how you adjust the strength, blah 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 blah. This is how you set it to temperature control. You don't need to know how to set it to temperature control. You just need to know how to switch it back from temperature control.
Which was the problem. I didn't know how to switch it back.
Yeah, there's no sense. Well, no, because
you
see, I told you.
You definitely did, but I forgot.
No, you see, I didn't tell you that about the button pressing thing. But if you just screw the tank back on, it asks you, and if you press same, it brings you back to whatever you were just on. And if you go down to W, it brings you down to watts. So that's how everyone's vape works. If you're wondering how your vape works,
you were telling me that. And like your voice faded out in my mind, and it was just me, like echoey talking to myself, like I'm gonna pull some fat rips, dude. I'm gonna make some big clouds, and it's gonna look real cool.
I'm gonna look like the
coolest guy in the McDonald's.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be the coolest guy in GameStop with this. I'm gonna buy 500 Funko Pops.
I've been using my vape less and less. Which is good. It's very good. But it's hard to stop using it when I work in a vape shop. But that was the intention, was to completely stop. So I'm trying to get back on that.
My vape is in a place right now. It's out. You know that little shelving unit next to my kitchen table?
Yeah.
You kind of have to like get past a chair to get in there.
Man, I just carry mine in my pocket. Why do you have a place
Because anytime
for it?
I don't have any like pockets up here.
Yeah.
And anytime I put it in any other pocket, it leaks everywhere.
Okay, yeah, because yours doesn't have.
My other one has
airflow.
My other one has an airflow, but my main one doesn't.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
Yes, I need to get one of those, or just not, and just
suffer the consequences. You never leave the house anyway.
But yeah,
so.
I would have to go past a chair to grab my vape.
Yeah, which is a little bit of extra effort.
I could just smoke a cigarette.
I always have it in my pocket because
no, I like having it like next to me when I'm playing a PlayStation game, and just because you can do it inside, you know, without smelling the place up.
Well, to be fair, I don't smoke cigarettes anymore, so it makes more sense that I would always have it in my pocket.
Not
often. No, not anymore.
No, yeah.
No, I don't smoke anymore. Like right. So I
think
I don't know. I don't have anything to.
An hour and 36.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. 6 minutes.
Okay.
An additional 6 minutes isn't so bad for something we had no idea how to add to.
Yeah.
You know, I think we did an alright job there.
Did an okay job. We talked. That was bullshit.
Yeah.
We bullshitted.
Yeah, we really did. That went far. See, that's the thing about bullshit. Is it's a perfect segment because we never put that much thought into it. Right, but it doesn't matter because the main objective of it is to start us off on something, and we'll just carry on a tangent. And so that it's bullshit. It's absolute bullshit. We start on something, we're like, yeah, we're gonna talk about this, and then we just drift.
Yeah,
that's the exact point.
Bullshit.
So we're gonna keep it at a low standard, people.
Sometimes
that's
on
what
a
I'm
podcast,
saying.
you're like, I just kind of want to just ramble about something for a bit.
Well, that's the whole idea of having a microphone.
No, but like we were generally pretty structured in what we do, and then we get to the bullshit, and it's like this is just where we can have a conversation about whatever the fuck.
Yeah. Catch up because we don't see each other.
Yeah, we don't see each other that much. But also, like, I think it leads to some fun stuff too.
Yeah, which is good. We get to hear from people. I don't get to see Barry at all. And like,
the emails is great.
Yeah, that's dope. I don't even get to see Ushin.
When we started the email thing, when I was like, hey, if you want to send us an email, I was like, no one's gonna send an email. That would be ridiculous.
Yeah, so I'm delighted that
I
that's
appreciate
a thing.
that.
Yeah, thank you
much.
so much.
If you made it this far,
thank you
maybe
for that.
Hit subscribe.
Yeah.
We do need those, and follow us on Twitter.
Yes, at translationlostpod.
If you have an email you want to send us, because I didn't say this when we were doing the emails.
We never
like
do.
An asshole.
Yeah.
You can send it to translationlostpod@gmail.com.
Yep.
All this will be on the screen.
Yeah, and
as it always
Translation
is.
Lost Podcast on Facebook.
All links will be in the description down below.
Yeah.
That's that.
That's that. I need to pee again, man. I've been drinking a lot of Monster.
That was Translation Lost Podcast.
Yeah, we'll be better at this next week.